angry guy here, and black women are furious that black men are rejecting them for Japanese women. Black women are furious that black men are rejecting them for Japanese women. Let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
Has greatly disappointed me since I've been living here is the amount of coonery that I've seen in Tokyo. And sorry to say, but it's mainly from black men from America. The way that I have to watch y'all treat me and my fellow black sisters like shit, but treat the Japanese women all delicately like they're special flowers is insane. The amount of times that I've met black men from America who give people the N-word here is crazy. I recently went to a club and this black guy was asking me how my experience is here dating, and I was telling him, and then he was like, well, I'm in heaven here because, you know, they like fetishize us, so they be worshiping us and doing whatever the fuck we want, so I'm in heaven. What? None? Or the black men that'll be talking to me, and then when we get done, they're like, I enjoyed the conversation, you're so cool, I love black women, I worship black women, I wish there was more in Tokyo, and then we'll go over to their Japanese girlfriend and then talk shit about us. When black American men get over here, the coonery be on 10. Y'all need to pipe down because they do not give a fuck about y'all.
This is so hilarious, guys. Guys, look at the anger. There's so much anger inside of them. So much anger inside of them. Guys, you know what the old saying is? Go where you are appreciated, okay? Go where you are appreciated. And what's happened here is that they didn't appreciate their men. They didn't appreciate their men. So now their men are walking away, and they are going where they are appreciated. And these women are furious. And they're like, oh, they don't even like you anyway, but look how they treat you. These men are being treated like royalty over there. They say they're being treated like royalty, and yet these women are saying they don't like you, they don't like you. But these women are saying that they like you. They're saying that they like the black men. They're saying that they want to have relationships. The black men are talking about how well these women are treating them. That's why they're worshiping them. All right? And that's why they're treating these women well. And it's like, guys, there's more. There's even more. Let's put out another video from the same girl complaining even more about this. Check this out.
交際ってできます。
So it's titled, What Would You Date a Black Guy?
Now that I've been living in Japan,
and of course, you have a lot of the videos. Basically, the video points is Japanese women saying that, yeah, we love black men. We want black men. We want to date black men. And now here, check out this sister and her response to this.
Japan for a while now and kind of been in the dating scene. I think these videos should stop. I get that, like, before when I was in America watching them, I'd be like, see, Japanese people will date us. You know, they will like us. And then, like, when they say they wouldn't, I would genuinely get mad and be like, but why not? And after living here, I realized that, like, even though we see these videos online of, like, some Japanese people saying they would, when you get here, you're most likely not going to find them. And even if they get on those videos and say they would, most likely they're like, when they come face to face with you, they're not going to do it. Just already assume that they're not going to date you. Just already believe that they're not going to date you. And if they do, they're probably not going to take you seriously unless you're palm colored. And that's just the really real of it.
Guys, do you see that? Do you see the anger? All right? Because the black guys in Japan are talking about how wonderful it is, the great experiences that they're having. She's complaining because, you know, the black guys, they'll talk to the black woman, and they'll go to their Japanese girlfriend and treat her like a queen, right? And basically friend zone these girls. These guys are going over there. They're finding beautiful women who appreciate them, who want them. And then you have women like this who are now furious and saying that don't even come over here thinking that these women want you. Don't even come over here thinking that they like you. Don't think about it at all. Get that out of your head. We don't need any more of these videos of Japanese women saying how much they like black men. Guys, do you see how bad it is? She lives in Japan, and she sees the success that these men are having in Japan. And they are so afraid of losing their power. They see what's happening, that men are going where they're appreciated. And they're trying to put as much fear inside of these men as possible. They're trying to tell these men, they don't really like you. What they're doing right now is they are trying to spread prejudice. And they're trying to tell black men that if they go overseas, they are going to face this from the Japanese. All right. even though there is no such thing, even though the Japanese are treating them extremely well and they are falling in love, these women want to spread fear. And they want to put fear inside of men. Guys, this is why I've said for such a long time that the whole black and white thing in Western society has always been over women. It has always been over women. You take women out of the equation and men fall in line, regardless of ethnicity, regardless of the color of their skin. Men fall in line very, very quickly and fall in line to a hierarchy. It's only when women are involved and there is a competition for women that men start to trying to pair up, arguing with one another, and carrying on with this type of behavior. It's the truth. It's the honest to goodness truth. When men are not competing for women, men fall right in line. And it's the honest to goodness truth. And you have to wake up. You have to wake up and realize that this is what they're doing. They say guys, these are the same people who said terrible things about the ladies in the Philippines. You remember the terrible things they said about the ladies in the Philippines and in Asia? Because guys, they've been speaking poorly of Asian women for ages now. Now they're going after the Japanese women. Guys, this is so bad. This is frightening. What we are witnessing is frightening. They are trying to label the same Japanese women who are talking positively about men from overseas, from Western society. They're trying to insert fear into them. All right, just like they have created a system of fear in Western society, they are trying to bring that same fear overseas. Guys, this is so terrible. This is so terrible. All right, and these women aren't finding that kind of success over there. They're going over to Japan and they're not finding success over there. You have white girls going to guys. Black women are on top of the world. They think they're on top of the world, but when they go overseas, they struggle to date. They struggle to date. One thing that black women don't even catch is the fact that out of all other groups in Western society, black women are the group that are least likely to be in a relationship with someone of another ethnicity. All right? This is something very interesting. It is very, very difficult for most black women to date outside of their ethnicity. When I say most black women, I'm talking specifically about African American women and Western black women. Western black women. African women are marrying white guys. African women are marrying white guys. They're marrying Asian guys. They're marrying men of all different ethnicities. Let's just go ahead and jump into this video where we basically hear from Japanese women and they basically explain how they feel about black men. And you can see that this black woman is spreading a lot of misinformation because she doesn't want black men dating outside of the ethnicity. Let me know your impressions of black people. So I'm going to read a bit of it to you so you guys can understand.
黒人の人の印象を教えてもらっていいですか？僕座っていいですか？ありがとうございます。
Can I sit down? Sure.
黒人の人の印象につい
Let me know your impressions of black people.
て教えてください。
かっこいいです。
They are cool.
かっこいいですよね。
They are cool. I
それ
think
は
so.
女性も男性もかっ
Is it the same opinion for women and men?
こいい。
そうですね。かっこいいですね。
Yes,
身長高くて強
Because they are tall and look strong.
そうだからかっこいいです。
そういう男性が好きですか？
Do you like men like that?
はい。
Yes.
そうです。
How about you?
なんとも。
Secret.
じゃあ、なんかどういう音楽聴いてそうですか？黒
So what kind of music do you think black people listen to?
人の人。
ヒップホップとかじゃないですか。
Hip hop, something like that?
こういう感じ。
ノリノリな。
Like this? Groovy? Yes.
同じく。
同じ
Oh, it's the same opinion.
なんか大丈夫ですか？まず、黒人の女性のなんか、
At first, is there anything you think is
こういう
good
ところい
about
いなっ
black
て
women?
思うとかあります？
So he asked, at first, is there anything you think is good about black women? So they love black men, but he asked, is there anything you think is good about black women? Let's see what they say.
やっぱブレイズとかそういう髪型が似合うとことか、
Okay, so she said that they like their braids and the tight-fitting clothes look good on them. So she said positive things about black women.
あと、ピタってした服が似合うとことか、日本人には似合わない服が似合う。
And she basically said clothes that don't fit Japanese people look good on them. So these people are very, very polite. They're respectful. And yet you look at the disrespect that a lot of these black women are putting up towards them.
でもね、やっぱ
Well, I still think it is cool to have dark skin. Notice what she said again. I still think it's cool to have dark skin.
り肌の色が黒いのはかっこいいと思いますし、ね、
Right?
あと足も
Yes.
長い、スタイルもいいし。
And they have long leg, and it's also good style. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Guys, go where you're appreciated. All right? You've heard the saying numerous times. Go where you're appreciated.
はいはい。でもなんか日本の女性ってなんか肌白
But Japanese women want whiter skin, want to whiten their skin. What is your opinion?
くしたがるじゃないですか。お姉さんたちはどうですか？
私は黒くしたい。
I'd like to have dark skin either way.
いや、私は白くしたいですけど、い
I'd like to have white skin.
や別に、まあ、黒い人はも
But some people want to darken their skin, so they are free to do so. So in Japan, there are some people who want whiter skin, but there are also people who want darker skin.
っと黒くなってもいいんじゃないですか。
なるほど、なるほど。黒人の男性についてはどう思いますか？
How about
男
black
性に
men?
ついては、なんか
I often see them
SNS とかでよく見るけ
on
ど、優しそう
Looks
だ
like
と思いま
kindness,
す。
I
なんで
think.
そういう思いますか？
Why do you think
なん
so?
かわ
That
からんけど、なんか
I'm not sure
女
what
性
it
に
is.
対して優しい。
The
こうリード
image is the image is that of a gentle lead to a woman. So they view black men as kind and gentle. Bros, men, go where you're appreciated. Do I need to spell it out for you? Go where you're appreciated. Okay? These women are trying to spread as much the black women in Western society are trying to spread as much disinformation as possible because they see the passport brothers going overseas and they see the success that they're experiencing. Let me make this very, very clear. This is not just a thing that's occurring with black men, okay? White men are highly appreciated among Japanese women as well. You think I'm joking? I've got you covered. Let's check out this other video. Would Japanese girls date a white foreigner?
白人男性についてどう思いますか？
What do you think of white guys?
かっこいいと思います。
I think they're good looking.
ジェントルマン
They're gentlemen.
なイメージです。
エロい。
かっこいい。
Sexy, good looking. So wait a minute, it's not just the black guys who are seeing success in Japan? What? I'm shocked.
優しい。
エロい。
And kind
礼
and
儀が
sexy
なす
and
ごい
very
エロ
polite.
い。エロい。
Sexy, sexy.
実際に白人男性と付き合いたいとは思いますか？
めっちゃ憧れでした。
I used to crush on them.
外人さんとお付き合
I
いして
thought
みたい
about
なっ
dating
て
foreign men
思ったことは全
many
然あります
times.
ちっちゃい時からずっと思ってました。
Since I was a child, it was my dream.
実際に付き合った
Has it come true?
はないです。
No, it hasn't.
チャール
Definitely,
し、
I want
高校
to.
生の時、
When I was in
その
high
英語を教
school,
えてくれる ALT み
I
たいな
fell
先
in
生に
love
ガ
with
チ
my
恋してま
English
した。
teacher.
もうないです
No, I wouldn't.
逆に美しす
Because
ぎ
they're
て
too beautiful? No, I wouldn't. Because they're too beautiful. I didn't see them as human, bro. Bro. Come on, Dad. Come on, bro. Go where you're appreciated. Go where you're appreciated. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. They're too beautiful. I didn't see them as human. Oh my goodness gracious. Guys, they don't want us to be free. The Western woman doesn't want us to be free. Okay, what they've been doing in Western society is absolutely terrible, and men have been so affected, and their lives have been damaged so much. And now that the men are running away, the women are following. The women are following behind them, and they're bringing that same attitude and behavior that led to the men leaving along with them. And they're trying to, and listen, you can't listen to any of the words coming out of their mouths, Western, because these women, do you think they want to let their meal ticket go? Guys, look at what's happening right now around the world, where we could be headed into possibly some major conflicts in the future. And these women, you think that these women want to let you go? They're gonna use misinformation, disinformation, anything they possibly can to keep you here. And they're going to, guys, look at the horrible things they're saying about these people. These women are so inviting. They see the men as beautiful. They think that dark skin is beautiful. They think that white men are beautiful. What, guys? What the heck? And you know the reason why? I'll explain this to you. You're gonna say, but that's not possible. Either you like black or white. That's incorrect. Because you have to remember, in Japan, everyone looks Japanese. All right, which is the reason why even if you're a black guy or you're a white guy and you were born in Japan and your parents are, let's say, black or white, and they were also born in Japan, and your lineage goes all the way back to your grandparents, and you have a Japanese passport, you will never be seen as Japanese, even though you are legally Japanese and you were raised in Japan, and that's the only country you've ever known or your parents have ever known. All right? Your lineage in Japan can go back 100 years or over 100 years. But if you are not ethnically Japan, or even if you are just half Japanese, you will never be seen as a Japanese, because Japanese see Japanese as Japanese. And it's straight, it's funny like that. But it doesn't mean that they don't view you or that they won't like you. Okay, because if culturally you're compatible with them, they're more than inviting, and they're happy to have you. Guys, you have to understand, in places where certain people are scarce, that's where you're in demand. In Japan, even though there are you might see a lot of black people and white people in Tokyo, for example, you don't see a lot of black people and white people in rural Japan and outside of the major cities. And there are a lot of people that live outside of major cities. So when black guys, white guys, even Hispanic guys go to Asia, go to Japan, you look exotic. It's the same thing in South Korea. It's the same thing in the Philippines. It's the same thing in Thailand. When we, as men of different ethnicities, men who are white, men who are black, men who are Hispanic, go overseas, we look exotic to them. Just like how when we see someone who looks exotic, like, oh, this person looks, they're multiple, they're of multiple ethnicities. Let's say someone from Brazil, right? We go to Brazil and we're like, oh my gosh, these women they look so beautiful. They're so exotic. And the thing is, for us, we're completely smitten by them. But for the man who lives in Brazil, that's nothing abnormal for them, because they see that every single day. Do you understand? So there's nothing exotic about that. So so that's exotic. So what's exotic to us is normal for them. In Japan, they're not used to seeing this on a regular basis, or they don't have the same kind of access to men of different ethnicities, right? Also, men who come from Western society tend to be, believe it, this is something that the Japanese, that we know about the Japanese. The Japanese are polite, but the Japanese are not kind. And foreign men are known to be very kind. It's something that they say in South Korea as well. In not Korea, not just South Korea, but in the Philippines. They say that foreign men are kind, and that's one of the reasons why women often seek them out and prefer relationships with them over men from their own countries. Guys, one thing that you guys don't comprehend is that foreign men, like the guys in these countries, in the Philippines, in Japan, and these other countries, they have higher standards they have higher standards than American men and than Australian men, than Western men for the women in their countries. Like a lot of the women that the men marry in South Korea, I keep saying South Korea, in the Philippines, for example, the Filipino guys, those are the women that a lot of the men don't want to be in relationships with. All right. For example, in the Philippines, the Filipino guys like white women. Like when they come to America, they actually like white women because they love the look of white skin. And that's something that's very big in a lot of different Asia, especially like in China, for example. Although it's in the Philippines, it's more pronounced. And it's not just in the Philippines, it's also in places like Mexico. It's a big thing in Mexico too. For example, you'll turn on the television and the women who you'll see doing the women who you'll see on television all have white skin. You will see much fewer darker skinned women who are doing, reporting on the news, doing cast stuff like that. You'll see much fewer of those women on television versus darker. You'll see the darker skinned women. You'll see much fewer darker skinned women on television in Mexico, for example, than you will see in white skinned women. A lot of people don't know this, but the Spaniards, they went to Mexico, they took over Mexico, and a lot of Mexican people are descendants of the Spaniards. So you have a lot of Mexican people who look just completely white, and you have children who have like blonde hair, blue eyes over in Mexico. It's a very interesting thing. I lived there for a bit, and what what people don't comprehend is that when you go, when guys travel, when guys travel overseas, you look exotic. You look exotic. And the women, they want you. They want these exotic men. So it's not a black or white thing. Look, but you have these women, you have the black women, for example, and white women too, who are furious because they see their men leaving. They see their men going over to these countries and thriving, being accepted, and being treated so wonderfully, and they can't have that. So they're going to spread as much. They're going to lie. They're going to say whatever they have to say to destroy your confidence, to make you afraid. Guys, this is a horrible thing that they're doing, and honestly, they should be thrown out of the country. Because if you're spreading this type of misinformation to say that, oh, they don't like you over here in Japan, guys, they need to throw her out of the country. She should not be in the country saying these terrible things and spreading this type of misinformation, because that only creates fear. And the Japanese, just remember, the Japanese are polite, but the Japanese are not kind. All right, never forget that. And they will throw her out of the country. They will throw her out of the country in a very polite way. They will politely show her the door. If she comes to Japan with that type of behavior and starts spreading those types of lies, they're not going to tolerate it like the Philippines. I mean, the Filipinos are standing up for themselves, but the Japanese will just show them the door. All right? They don't tolerate that nonsense over there. What do you guys think regarding this? Because I think this is absolutely ridiculous what these women are doing, but they're afraid. They're afraid because men are walking away from society. That's why I say MWA, men walking away from Western society and Western relationships. Men are going overseas and finding peace and happiness. All right, go where you're appreciated. All right, guys, even in Sweden, men are putting up with what they're putting up with in the United States. Even in Sweden, feminist Sweden. I want to hear your thoughts regarding everything we discussed here today, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA. Men walking away. And cheers.